Yeah, I mean, I don't care what walk of life you take, leadership is something that we all take for granted sometimes. And in today's day and age, more than ever, opposition to leadership exists more than it's ever existed. And it's important that we all that have leadership jobs continue to convey that we all have similar challenges so we can stay excited about the jobs that we're trying to do. And then the similarities between, number one, I get to coach basketball and our players play basketball because of the sacrifices of our military in this country. So anytime I can be a part of what the military stands for, I'm all in. It's no questions asked. And the similarities between our organizations. You know, we recruit 18-year-olds just like the military, and we deal with their growth between the ages of 18 and 22, 23, with the hope that eventually they become successful men and women that gather success through the structure that's added in their life. And that's, I think both organizations are very similar in its fundamentals.
Coach, what was the one piece of advice about leadership that you really wanted to get across here today?
Yeah, that we got to, if you want to lead, you have to stay true to who you are. You can't change who you are based on outside opinions. We live in a country where everyone can express how they think and what they say, and that's awesome. But we can't change who we are and the audience that we're trying to captivate because of the opinions of people that are not in your room. They don't have an idea of what happens in your room, so their opinions are really irrelevant to what's happening. And like I tell our players, the outside noise is always going to be there. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's irrelevant. The only noise that matters is what happens on the inside, and that's what I was trying to share here today. Let's not cave who we are based on what people on the outside think. Stay connected to the people on the inside and value their voices, which is what matters.
You referenced the LSU press conference and obviously that Florida game from your early time at South Carolina. How have those two examples stuck with you, but how often do you think back on those moments as kind of learning lessons for you that's humbled you a little bit as you've gone forward?
Those are PG moments. I've had rated X moments in my life that you don't run away from those. You don't act like that's not part of your fabric. I mean, it's those moments that you have to embrace and understand it's part of the journey, and that's what I tried to do. And you heard what I said. That's how I felt privately. I had no problem sharing that with the room today, and it's. We want to always embrace our successes and try to hide our failures. And we are who we are because of a combination of both. And I try to stay grounded that way, where I'm always connected with the mistakes and I'm open and speaking about them.
What did you learn about leadership this past season?
Patience. Patience. Our manpower, because of injuries, we're down. It could have been very easily for me to come in every day and say, we don't have enough. And it's okay, we're not good enough to win this year. But I would have failed miserably with the people that matter, the guys that were healthy and ready to play. And instead, I learned that even though we were down to like 7 people at one time, that I've got to manage some things a little differently for this team, which allowed me to open my eyes that maybe if instead of 7, I got 12, if that moment requires it, I can also find the patience to allow people, I don't want to say the common phrase is let them play through mistakes. I let people play through mistakes. I don't let them play through problems. And but be a little more patient with how they go about things, because you learn a lot when you have very little. We're always worried about what we don't have, and sometimes when you got 13 players, you got so much, you don't really pay attention to what you do have. And when you're down to 7 guys, you got to realize that I've only got 7, and I can't hope I had 13, but I don't have 13 options either. I got to worry about 7. I think that patience is what helped me this year.